I'm Brad Sherman. I'm the ranking member of the Capital Markets Subcommittee, and more to the point, I'm co-chair of the very small bipartisan CPA caucus. For 200 years, the accounting profession has developed a system to report on what was thought to be important 200 years ago. The assets on the balance sheet, the statement of income and loss, and those are important. But if you look at today's values, you see that 100 years ago, 80%, more than 80% of the value of a company's stock was attributable to its net book value as shown on the balance sheet. Today, that's, instead of 80%, it's less than 20%. So we're reporting on something that most investors aren't looking at. We need a system to show investors what they think is material. Materiality is a CPA or accounting concept that doesn't say you limit it to 5% of net income. It's material, as a Republican witness testified today, if a lot of careful investors think it's important to them. So what we see here from our Republican colleagues is an attack on the shareholder. Under capitalism, if through the sweat of your brow, if through the care and frugality of your spending, you're able to accumulate some capital, and if you have the courage to invest it in American equities, then you are a shareholder. And under capitalism, those shareholders are entitled to the information that they want. Not what Ron DeSantis wants, not what Patrick Henry says. They're entitled to the information that they want. And shareholders are supposed to be in control of the corporation, not the management. Shareholders through their votes. Now, over 100 years ago, the followers of Leon Trotsky and the Socialist Workers' Party began a war against this capitalist model. Today, the Republican Party has joined with them in this attack. It is time to put shareholders first. Now, not every shareholder cares about the environment, and I've met a few who say that they want to deliberately invest in whatever company is creating the most greenhouse gases. There are sick people in many places. It's the shareholder who decides. And shareholders need the information, not only about the environmental, but I think, as others have pointed out, we need to know about the workforce, which is the most valuable asset of the company. And Republicans have joined with us in these efforts in prior decades when they thought that shareholders who didn't want to invest in Iran, which was developing nuclear weapons, had a right to divest, and pension plans had a right to divest if that's what they decided to do. And today, Republicans would say maybe you don't want to invest in a company that is shipping high technology and artificial intelligence technology to China. So it's time to put the shareholder first. It's time to give the shareholder the information they need. And finally, it's time to end the war on American capitalism, because a huge portion, maybe not a majority, of American investors want to invest in companies that are improving on their climate effect. And if we deny them this information, what will they do? They'll invest in European companies, all of whom are making the very disclosures that those investors want. It's time for American shareholders to invest in American companies based on the criteria those investors want. And the war on shareholders should be limited to the Socialist Workers' Party. Ronald Reagan would be ashamed to see what his party's doing today.